This is an emergency alert. Please follow lockdown procedures. Go into the nearest room or building, lock the door, and turn off all lights. Wait for the all clear from school officials or local authorities.
It was a gloomy Tuesday, and Mark's class was in the middle of a boring lecture when the emergency alarm blared through the intercom. The announcement sent shivers down everyone's spine as they were instructed to lock the doors and hide. As Mark huddled with his classmates in the corner of the classroom, they whispered nervously to one another. He couldn't help but notice that his teacher seemed unusually agitated, staring at the classroom window with wide, frightened eyes. Minutes felt like hours as the students anxiously awaited updates on the situation. That's when Mark noticed something peculiar outside the window. There, amidst the rain-smeared glass, he saw her, a crazed old lady in a tattered white gown, her long, matted hair obscuring her face. In one bony, blood-stained hand, she clutched a wickedly sharp knife. Mark's heart raced as he watched her frenzied movements. She was sprinting across the schoolyard, her gait disjointed and unnatural, like some kind of deranged specter. The rain pelting against the window distorted her figure, making her appear almost ethereal, a demented apparition sent straight from the depths of hell. Terror gripped Mark and his classmates as they realized the lockdown had become a life-or-death situation. The old lady with the bloodied knife was approaching, and her manic laughter echoed in the stormy air. Her eyes vacant and empty, as if possessed. Frantic whispers filled the room, but they knew that making noise could be their demise. The old lady drew closer, her ghastly appearance and ominous presence searing into Mark's mind. He knew he had to do something, but the fear had paralyzed him. Just as the old lady reached the classroom window, the lights flickered and went out, plunging the room into darkness. The terrified students could hear her raspy breath, her cold, bony fingers grazing the glass. Then, the lights flickered back on, revealing an empty window. The old lady had vanished, but the image of her crazed, blood-soaked grin was burned into Mark's memory. The school lockdown eventually ended, and the authorities could find no trace of the mysterious old lady. But Mark could never forget the nightmarish encounter, and he always wondered if the old lady, with her wicked knife, would return to haunt their school once again. The story serves as a grim reminder that sometimes the most horrifying terrors are the ones that never truly leave us. It was a typical, uneventful school day for John, until a text message buzzed in his pocket. It was his best friend, Mike. "Where are you? We're in lockdown." John felt a shiver run down his spine as he read the message. He hadn't heard the announcement, and now he was alone in the school restroom. Panicking, John quickly exited the stall, washed his hands, and made his way towards the door. He was halfway there when the lights overhead suddenly flickered and went out, casting the restroom into total darkness. Panic welled up inside him as he fumbled for his phone, turning on its dim screen to see by. The only source of light came from the emergency exit signs above the restroom's exit door. John's heart pounded loudly as he stood there, feeling vulnerable and exposed. In the eerie half-light, he noticed the man entering the restroom, his features obscured in the shadows. The stranger moved silently, checking each stall one by one, as if searching for something. John's heart raced as he tried to control his breathing. He texted Mike, explaining his predicament, but there was no response. As the man drew closer to John's stall, he paused, and then a chilling, raspy laugh filled the restroom. Back into the dimly lit hallway. John could hear his maniacal laughter echoing through the corridor, along with the sound of him banging on classroom windows. He knew he couldn't stay in the restroom forever. Taking a deep breath, he made a quick dash for the door, peeking around the hallway. There he saw the man, bathed in the dim red glow of the emergency lights, grinning widely and laughing as he taunted the lockdown school. It was a sight that sent chills down John's spine. He quickly retreated back into the restroom and found a hiding spot, his heart pounding in his chest. John knew he was trapped, huddled in the darkness of the restroom, waiting and praying for the nightmare to end. Time crawled by and the minutes felt like hours. Then, the crackling sound of an announcement system echoed through the school. It was a trembling voice, clearly shaken, announcing, "The lockdown is over. It is safe to come outside." With cautious hope, John emerged from his hiding place and slowly made his way toward the hallway. The eerie red glow of the emergency lights was still there, but this time, it felt like a sanctuary compared to the restroom. As he ventured out, he could hear the distant wail of police sirens drawing closer. The police had arrived, and their presence was a welcome relief. John, along with other students, gathered near the exit. He shared his encounter with the ominous man with the pistol, hoping to provide the police with some information. Moments later, the police made their way through the school's darkened halls, conducting a search. They discovered the man with the pistol hiding in a janitor's closet. He was apprehended and taken into custody, his eyes filled with madness and his pistol covered in an unsettling mixture of fresh and dried blood. John couldn't help but feel a wave of relief wash over him. The nightmare was over, and the man who had terrorized the school was in the hands of the authorities. In the aftermath of the incident, it was revealed that the man had been searching for someone specific, a target that remained a mystery. The motives behind his actions were shrouded in darkness, but it was evident that he intended to cause harm. The story of that fateful day was a chilling cautionary tale, a lesson that sometimes the world can turn into a living nightmare. Emily's school days had been marked by routine and monotony, with each day blending into the next. But on a gloomy, overcast morning, everything changed. She had just settled into her seat in the classroom, a sense of boredom and lethargy settling over her as the teacher's voice droned on. And then, it happened. The deafening blare of the emergency alarm filled the room, and chaos erupted. Panic washed over her as her classmates scrambled to lock the classroom door. The teacher was focused on maintaining order, guiding students to safety. But Emily was left alone, a sense of dread welling up within her. She fumbled for her phone, wondering why her friends hadn't shown up yet. It was then that she received a message from Lisa, her best friend. "Where are you? We're in lockdown." Emily's heart pounded as she read the message. She hadn't heard the announcement, and now she was trapped, isolated in a classroom that had become a prison. Desperation coursed through her veins, urging her to find her friends and ensure their safety. She left the classroom, navigating the dimly lit hallway where the emergency lights cast eerie, elongated shadows. It was as though the school itself had transformed into a labyrinth of fear and despair. Her search led her to the school's restroom, a place of solace in the past, but now it was fraught with tension and darkness. She pushed the door open cautiously, and the rusty hinges protested with a creak. Inside, the fluorescent lights flickered, casting an unsettling, sporadic glow. A putrid, unidentifiable stench lingered in the air, making her stomach churn. Emily ventured further into the restroom, glancing warily at each stall, half expecting to find something sinister lurking within. Her footsteps echoed in the oppressive silence. It was then that she heard a soft, sinister whisper, a voice that seemed to emanate from the darkest corner. "Help me," sending shivers down her spine. The fear was overwhelming, and Emily's heart raced as she tried to locate the source of the voice. The dim light of her phone screen became her only source of illumination as she moved closer. In the farthest stall, the door was slightly ajar. Emily pushed it open and was met with a horrifying sight. Lisa's lifeless body lay there. Her eyes vacant, her school uniform stained with blood. In the dimly lit restroom, Emily's eyes fixated on the sinister message scrawled in crimson letters. "You're next." She stumbled back in shock, her breath catching in her throat, but there was no escape. Suddenly, the restroom lights extinguished, plunging her into a suffocating darkness. A chilling, raspy laugh echoed around her, and her phone screen flickered and died, leaving her blind. The voice whispered in her ear, "I know you're here." Panic gripped her as she tried to hide. Terrified, she fled into the dimly lit hallway, but the man's laughter pursued her. She ran and hides under the principal's table. The school transformed into a nightmarish maze. Hours passed, and her hope dwindled. Then the teacher's trembling voice announced, "The lockdown is over. It is safe to come outside." With cautious hope, she emerged from her hiding place. Police sirens wailed in the distance, providing a glimmer of safety. In the aftermath, the man with the bloodied knife remained at large, shrouded in darkness. The school was forever haunted, and the nightmare was far from over. The dark ending served as a chilling reminder that evil could lurk in the most unexpected places. Sometimes escape is an illusion,